Alice, and today we are going to talk about Valentine's Day with these lovely ladies. If you would like to introduce yourselves.
I'm Lauren Eldick, and I am the owner of Lala Photography, and I've lived in Las Vegas for 25 years. Around.
My name is Merida, and I've lived in Vegas for about 9 years, originally from California, and I've been coming to Luray to get my hair done for the last 5 years.
And we actually asked them to come on today because Merida threw a wonderful Galentine's for us that we thoroughly enjoyed. And we got to talking about Valentine's Day, and we just wanted to have them on and kind of dig a little deeper on what we feel about Valentine's Day from two divorced ladies and two married ladies.
And don't let all the pink fool you, because we're not going to be as positive about Valentine's Day as you would think.
Not all of us.
Some of us are, a little bit.
Okay, so to break it down, I, being the researcher, I actually looked up fun facts about, or unknown facts about Valentine's Day this morning. And one that stood out to me, and I thought about Felicia, is I can't remember how many millions of dollars it was last year that people spent on their pets for Valentine's Day.
My dog doesn't even get anything on Christmas. She is spoiled all year long.
Noah.
She is fine. She doesn't need special. She doesn't need anything special for Valentine's Day or Christmas.
So Nala's losing out. Do you guys have pets? Would you buy them Valentine's?
I would not buy them Valentine's because I don't buy anything for Valentine's Day for anybody, but I would like to spend some more time with her. I have a little dog that ran into our yard about a year and a half ago, and she is a Yorkie Dachshund mix.
Oh.
So they call her a Dorky. Yeah, she's very cute, and the best part about her is she doesn't shed.
Yes.
So we don't have any dog hair around any. Merida has a very sheddy dog.
I have a husky.
Oh, yes.
I know. I wanted to meet your husky.
Yeah,
but...
he ran away after you guys left. Someone
like,
opened the door and
I'm out.
Oh.
yeah. So he is a shedder. He is a cuddler. But no, I do not buy him anything at all, period. Like, my kids will want to. My girls are like, can we get him, a little cupcake? Can we get him something? And I let them. But he just looks at it and is like, I'm over it.
He's like, I don't think
he
Valentine's
realizes
Day.
what that is. As long as you pet him and tell him that he's nice, then he's fine.
So he's a lot like us ladies.
Yeah.
We don't need the presents. We just want to be petted and loved.
Yes. He's like, just pet me and call me pretty, and I'm good.
I don't know if we want to
Spirit
compare
animal.
ourselves to a dog, but yes.
He sounds like my spirit animal, honestly. And then another fact that I found is that teachers receive the most Valentines out of anybody.
Kids sucking up.
Well, yeah,
They're
and
like,
then you have
"Pass me."
20-something kids in a classroom, and they're all giving the teacher a Valentine. And then I was like, I don't think I've ever had my kids give their teachers Valentines.
I don't think I ever did as a kid
Oh.
either. I don't remember giving Valentines to teachers. I remember you
No,
bring
yeah.
in Valentines for the class.
For the class, but not for your teachers. But I think that more and more, especially with social media, there's so many things and everybody's trying to one-up everybody.
Yeah.
So if anybody makes a post on a video for a teacher and they're like elaborate gifts, it's not like the fun dipstick.
Like,
that
a
we were
Valentine.
given back
Yep.
in the 90s. Or the 2000s when I was young. But no, they're like, handmade tumblers with their
Yes.
names on it that, probably have some type of alliteration that has to do with Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It's crazy what people do nowadays for these teachers, and it's not like they don't deserve it. Of
Yeah.
course they deserve Valentine's Day. I'm sure, you know what, the gifts that I have given to the teachers have been Wine and More gift cards,
Oh,
or
yes.
either coffee or alcohol.
They love you.
Yeah, and it's like they don't need more,
Mugs.
special staplers.
How many
or
tumblers
some-
do you think they get?
A ton.
Oh, yeah, probably
absolutely.
a ton. Probably a ton of tumblers. Probably, what else do
Mugs.
Oh,
They
mugs.
always say that that's one of the biggest things that they always get is like mugs. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, we don't need more mugs. They are cute, but realistically, it's such an easy gift to give and grab and go. But yeah,
When they have so many like cute little sayings and stuff that people will be like, oh, they'll love that, but they already have 10 of them.
Yeah.
I
a
Well,
stash.
I have a lot of mugs. Mugs I have a lot of because it's probably the only thing I cook at home is coffee in the morning. And in fact, it's not even, I just use instant because I'm off in Europe a lot. So I just have Nescafe, the instant coffee. So I guess you can't even count that as cooking. But I love mugs. So I have the most of
So
that.
we know if we need to get her a
Christmas
gift.
Yeah,
you get her a
it's
mug.
a mug. It's a mug, please.
With coffee.
With coffee, with instant coffee.
It has to be instant.
Yeah. Easy,
So one more
easy.
fun fact, and then we'll dig a little deeper into how we each individually feel about Valentine's Day, is in Japan, the women buy men chocolates and gifts
Oh,
for
interesting.
Valentine's Day.
Huh. I didn't even know they celebrated.
Yep. It's been celebrated since like the 1400s. Like
Oh,
I
I thought it was
found
just
out
a
all
dumb
kinds of
holiday
stuff.
that like Americans made up.
Oh no, it started in Europe,
Oh,
and it started
Yes,
from.
St.
I didn't know
Valentine.
that.
There was, I can't think of the exact word, but it was a fertility ritual where they would slap women with hides of animals dipped in blood to help them with their fertility, and they had to do away with that, so they turned it into Saint Valentine's Day.
Oh, so it was a pagan religion that they
Yeah, I can't think of what the.
Christianified. I'm
Yes.
sure that there's a different
Yes,
word for that.
so they turned it into
Yeah.
the Saint Valentine.
That's interesting. We just did a celebration for Candlemas, which was originally also a pagan holiday to bring in. It was the meridian between the solstice and the something to have to do with the moon. So you can tell I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, you're like,
Wow.
But she did.
But we did it, but it was the same thing where then they celebrated it, then they made it because they still wanted to celebrate it.
yeah.
Just, they still wanted to do the fertility ritual.
Mhm.
So instead they made it into something Christian, which it's
Yeah.
now Candlemas. So it's supposed to be when Joseph and Mary brought Jesus and to confirm him into the church. I think that is it. But we celebrated it in the pagan way where we lit all the candles because now light is going to come back in. But that's interesting. There's probably a lot more pagan holidays that we really don't
for
realize.
Yeah.
Like Wednesday. This is my favorite fun fact. Is Wednesday is Odin's day, which is Odin is the Norse god, and Thor's Day.
Oh.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't know that. Like we actually have a lot of these like ancient,
This
cultures.
was a whole
and-
Marvel moment right here.
Oh, Thor. Yeah, well, people know Thor, but if you know
Yeah.
like Norse mythology, then but like it's something that we say every single day. Every single day we say Thor. Well, not every single. We know every single person knows Thursday, but they probably don't know that it's Thor's day.
So
or
is every
Wednesday.
day? So it's like Monday related
No,
to
Monday
something?
has to do with the moon and oh my gosh, my 10-year-old, if he was here, he would tell you. But no, there's certain days that are kind of, I think it's like a mixture. So a lot of them have to do with the planets. But it just happens that Wednesday and Thursday are Odin. I know it doesn't say because it's like originally it's like Odin's Day or something like that. But it's well, and then our months also are from Julius Caesar. So you know how October, the Latin root word oct is 8, but it's not. It's the 10th month, right? And December is the Latin root word for 10, but it's actually our 12th month. And it's because it used to be with Latin root words until Julius Caesar declared that July was his month, the 7th month, July. So it pushed everything back 1 month. And August was for his nephew, Augustus. So July and August are actually for Julius Caesar and Augustus.
My
mean,
gosh.
if I
You guys
use
thought
that
you were
every
watching
day.
for Valentine's
I know.
Day.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
getting a wealth of knowledge right now.
Well,
Fun facts.
of useless knowledge. It's literally useless knowledge.
That's
Listen,
my
can we go to
favorite
Family
knowledge
Feud?
sometimes.
Oh,
though.
it's
Sometimes you
useless.
just dive into something completely useless.
Yep.
Well, I tend to dive into something completely useless often.
If I ever go on
on
Family Feud, you're my sister. We're gonna
Your
take
call a
this.
friend one.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be calling you.
Oh,
Useless-
yes.
Useless facts? Call Lauren, please.
Yeah. Oh, if it's useless, I'll
I'm
know
the
it.
same way though, because we'll do a podcast and I'm like, I researched this and this amount of blah 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 because I want to know. Like,
Yeah.
and Valentine's Day, obviously, I think about it as just candy, flowers, roses. Like, I didn't know all the stuff behind it that I found out this morning, and I was like,
Yeah, it's so interesting, all this knowledge, and just how rooted it is.
yeah,
Like, that's the cool part.
and how far back it goes.
It goes very far.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were talking about it, I mean, you're talking about thousands,
Yeah,
or at least hundreds.
Yeah.
Probably not thousands. Probably
I
hundreds.
mean,
maybe.
Yeah, no, thousands.
14 in the
1400,
1400s. So
6,000 years ago.
yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's.
Oh, what is it?
girl.
Oh no, 600. Can't do math. 600.
Hold up your sticks fast. Look at
Hide your face, girl. Hide your face.
Oh, God.
That was
That's
just-
going to be clipped.
Well, we were
Listen.
talking about like being good with numbers
You're
earlier.
not.
That's not.
over.
You're the right brain.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to be in more of the right one. Ew, bachelor
She looks
eyelashes.
cute, though.
That's awesome.
It's too early to do math, you guys.
I think all of us kind of just, but didn't really like jump on that.
It was
We
like,
all
how
thought
is
about
that? I was
it.
like, oh no, 600. Yeah. I knew that.
I wasn't even registering what you guys were talking about.
I
I
know.
was like, okay,
That's
okay.
even better.
Alicia sits there with her Colgate smile. And she's
Yeah.
like,
Do you think I know what's
God.
going on?
Okay, so let's talk about Valentine's Day, because the way the discussion came up at Galentine's was like, how do you feel about it? You know, is it something you enjoy? Is it something that you don't? And I mean, do you want to discuss like your point of view on Valentine's
I mean,
Day?
mine's pretty simple. I don't like Hallmark holidays as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't. And me and my husband both agree on it. I already don't like to get flowers. I think it's such a waste. There's beautiful natural flowers I can look at. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like to bring them into my house to die. I just don't. And it's a waste of money. So he's only got me flowers one time. I told you that. And that was it. I said, don't do that again. And I didn't mean it mean. It was very sweet, but I just don't like them.
She said, I'd rather have a steak.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take me out for a
yes.
steak.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, bring me out for some good food,
Yes,
you
a
know? Like, I don't
filet.
even want the chocolates. Bring me
No.
go get some food, like good food.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I don't even need a fancy restaurant. I just want good food. It could be a freaking food truck.
Yeah.
Oh, the best
I
food
so
is in
agree.
food.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, like, it's just a little more simple. And I also believe that I don't think there should be one day a year that you show love. And that's what it's kind of became, is like that's the time you buy the gifts and you get all lovey-dovey and you go on dates. No, you should go on dates anyways. If you're especially if you're married, like you should be
Yeah.
scheduling a date night every single week, if not just monthly at least, at the bare minimum, because that is the time that you need to spend together. That's how you know, grow your relationship. You need that quality time, and we get so busy that we just rely on one day a year. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's hard with kids, but I think that was being divorced. I think that was probably the biggest downfall to or the thing where we messed up the most, because any of our extra time was spent on our children. You know, or just we were just so exhausted from our days that we didn't really carve out time for that. So I think a lot of people that are busy, they can use Valentine's Day as kind of like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
When really we should be educating people on, no, you're supposed to be taking time out, but we all feel so guilty. We all feel so guilty for, you know, going out. We still feel guilty, even though my kids can stay home alone now. I still feel guilty going out and doing something without them.
And I feel like that's it's such a wrong way to look at it, and most people do,
Yeah.
because you feel selfish if you do anything for you, especially
Yeah.
if you have kids. I don't have kids, so I obviously can't relate. But I do think when you're married and you have children, if you don't put your relationship first, that affects the kids too.
Agree.
It does.
It does, but it's really hard to put a relationship first.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not
We know,
hard.
I know.
I'm
It's
not
yeah.
saying
Oh, yeah. It's so hard. But again, I'm divorced, and there's a reason why I'm divorced. And I wish, like, if I had to go back, that would be one thing to say. Let's go out, just the two of us. We would always go out on my ex-husband's birthday, which was also New Year's Eve. So that was perfect. So but it's like two birds, one stone, you know. And that worked for us. We would go out on our wedding anniversary if I remembered, and that's another story, because I'm awful with dates. And that's it. Like, we wouldn't even go out on my birthday because I wasn't a huge fan of that. But I think that is literally it. That's the only 2 days that we would go out in a year, and that's if I wasn't working because I put work
Well, and I
first.
feel like people look at it too the wrong way as of like having to go out. You don't even have to go out.
no.
You're just carving out some
Exactly.
quality time where
Yep.
you're not on your phone, you're not distracted by anything else, and you're just spending time with people that you love.
Yep.
And that is really what you're doing.
Intentional time.
Yeah.
Yep. You have to make
Intentional
intentional time, and I agree 1,000%. I've been married for almost 23 years. I have 3 kids, and we make each other our priority too. I always tell them, I was like, if we're not happy, how can we show our kids what happiness is,
Yeah.
and how can we show them what a real relationship is? So even if in date night, I agree, it doesn't have to go out be on a fancy time. Sometimes we just, hey, can you pick me up from work, and on our drive together, it's time to conversate. We'll go out, grab ice cream really quick, and that's a date, and that's
Yeah.
exciting. You know what I mean? Or at home, we'll just have dinner, just the 2 of us after the kids, or watch a movie or whatever. But we plan dates intentionally, and sometimes they're surprised. He'll call me and say, "Are you almost off work?" "Yes." "Okay, let me pick you up." Or, "Hey, let's meet up at this place and let's go grab a drink."
love
And it's like an hour. And yes, you do feel guilty because like, oh, the kids would like this, but then I'm like, we do so much for them that.
And can I also say, I'm realizing it. I think you're realizing it. When your kids get older, they're going to go off and live their own life.
Yes.
And they're going to have their own kids and their
Yes.
own jobs. And
What?
the person
we did it.
Right.
and the
I'm
person
gonna be with
that
you
you have
forever.
sacrificed your
Yeah.
time
Everything.
for,
Yeah.
and you put
You.
your relationship to the back
Yep.
burner and all of that, like, then you're left there like, for me, like, I'm divorced, I'm raising these kids on my own, and it's like, I agree with you, hindsight is 2020, and it's like,
hindsight is 20/20.
man, if I prioritize my husband and the father of my children, that in turn makes me prioritize my children, because
Yep.
if our relationship is good and strong, that's going to affect them in a positive manner. You don't have to feel guilty for taking a few
You
hours
don't.
away from them, but a lot
We
of times we
always
do.
do.
Yeah,
We do.
I mean, most people do. I can agree. I truly don't, because once again,
You're like,
no,
And
I
she's
don't.
married
And
for
I'm-
23
and
years.
I'm
so
happy.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yes, and we've been married, and he's
Oh, she's
truly
very
my best friend, and he's an awesome person, guy, friend, husband. And now that my kids are older, so I have a 19-year-old, and my 16-year-old will tell us, God, our dad, he's just made it so where now I have these high standards
Yes.
of guys. They're like, we don't want just anybody. Like,
Yes.
he needs to do this, this, and this. So they have him on this high pedestal
Mhm.
because of the way he treats me, the
Yeah.
house, the kids, and everything. So because we've prioritized each other, we're teaching them, like,
Yes.
this is the thing. These are valuable things in life, and friendships are important as well, because he is my friend. I also love making time for friends. Like,
Yeah.
I do. I make time for my friends. That it doesn't matter. I slept 3 hours. It doesn't matter. Like, I got to hang out with this person, and I allowed myself to be present for them
Yeah.
in the moments of happiness and sadness and everything. And then I do that for my husband, the same thing, and for my kids. And you are exhausted. Yes, there's days where I'm like, oh my God, how did I do all of this in a week? Plus work, plus whatever else life throws at you. But you have to do it intentionally, and you have to want it, and have to say, you know what, it's going to pay off. Because if you don't do it, you're just going to be miserable.
Yeah.
You really are.
All of those things you listed are you loving yourself and feeding back into
Oh, yeah.
yourself too.
And loving yourself is, like, I always tell my girlfriends that are like, oh, I don't ever have time for me, I'm depressed. Well, you need to make time for yourself. Go get your hair done. Go get your nails done. Go for a walk. Go get coffee by yourself. Go to the movies by yourself. Like, intentionally love yourself, and the more you do, you're going to pour that out into everybody that's around you. And you're going to be nothing but positive, And so we celebrate life and love every day with
Every
the
day.
little things.
Yeah.
But Valentine's, it's one of those
Here's
days
our
that, like,
advocate for Valentine's.
well, because I'm 50-50, because forever my husband does not buy me Valentine's Day gifts on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Because forever I used to be like, no, if you want to get me stuff, get it throughout the year. Get it whenever. I don't need to be a Hallmark. I don't want to be a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
But I still want to be pampered, and I still want flowers, and I want chocolate and
Oh,
fine
so wait, so
dining.
you like the flowers?
Oh, I love flowers. I
Oh,
love flowers. I
interesting.
love plants.
I mean, but to receive flowers.
Oh yeah, like, why not? Like, that's just like you went to the store, you thought about me when you saw them, you picked out that one versus that one and this one. So in that moment, you were thinking about me.
And it
Just
means
like a
more
heart.
to you to get those on a random
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday
He
than
does.
on Valentine's
So,
Day.
I know this is cheesy, but he does not buy me flowers on the 14th. He'll
Mhm.
bring them on the 12th, on the 11th, on the 17th. Because he's like, I don't want to give it to you on Valentine's Day. I just don't want to give you a Valentine's Day gift. And I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Cute.
We'll do things for the kids.
Mhm.
He'll make baskets. He'll get the girls flowers. And my son, he'll get him something. Because once again, he's like, why not? We have to show that
Yeah.
this is a nice way to be treated.
It's not just for women, it's
No,
for men too.
I show my son. I'm like, because one day when he has a girlfriend or wife, he will know how to treat that young
Yeah.
lady. And once in a while, my son will come home and he'll like grab a flower, a bush sometimes. I don't know, something he found on the a random flower, and he'll just look what I got you. I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, just like random stuff like that. But it all comes because my husband has been
The
instilling
example.
that from just getting the little things, you know. And so we try to do a lot of that and celebrate each other. But once again, it doesn't have to be on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But even though it is commercialized, because everything is so much more expensive, like everything is expensive, everything is booked that one.
Yeah.
It's okay if we want to have one particular day to celebrate it, because a lot of people have to have things told to them when to do it. We have a birthday, we
Structure.
have Christmas, we have Mother's Day, we have every other holiday. We're told when to do it. It doesn't mean that they don't love their mom, right? But they have that one day that they have to be reminded of. And
Yeah.
like you said, has to be kind of structured. So to that sense, like, yes, people have to be reminded, but obviously business have capitalized on that and want to take advantage of it. And if you are a person that wants to be part of being taken advantage of that day and spend flowers $30 more than they normally are a week
Yeah.
before, then go for it.
Well, I'm a
We're richer by
capitalist. I
that.
like that. But I think what has happened is that what we were talking about earlier, like there's just all this social media. It's become not about like what you
Competitive.
said. What you said is me. He's thinking about me. He's picking out this one versus
Yeah.
this one versus this one. That's beautiful. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that what it has become is not about what is Merida going to like. It's how much better can I get? How much bigger of these flower bushel can I get than Miss Jones next door?
Well, now you're bringing up like the social media thing from
Yes.
earlier, the comparison
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I gotta top this
Yes.
person. I
I
gotta
got
top
to top that person. I have to, yeah. And that's what it's become. And that's what everything has become. Like Christmas, you brought up, because we're going to just bring up the Hallmark holidays. And when I see people posting pictures of their tree with, like, and it's
The
just to show
perfection.
how much
All the gifts.
All the
yes.
gifts.
Oh, yeah, no.
it's just like, why are we doing this? Like, why is it just the consumerism? And I think that is the problem that we're having with Valentine's Day. Is not, but I guess it's with any Hallmark holiday.
Yeah, it's any of
that.
them.
It's this
Yeah.
all this one-upping each other, which I don't think it's going to go away. I mean, it's been like this for
Oh, it's
Forever.
not, it's
that
only
for
gonna get
6,000
worse.
years.
Yeah.
It's
6,000 years,
It's
you
just-
guys.
it's just-
600,000
I think
years.
it's just all in our face because of social media.
And that's what I was gonna say is you'll see like the pictures where people go decorate the rooms and it's like the whole room is a flower wall and there's balloons and there's the rose petals leading, and I think that is beautiful. But wouldn't you rather have somebody do that for you and you be in the moment and enjoy it, and
Oh,
like that's
exactly.
something between the two of you, as opposed to let me take every single picture and angle possible to put this up so people can see what somebody did for me, instead of
Exactly.
you just taking in that moment of what somebody did to you.
But
And
that's
that
with
creates
anything that we
Mhm.
do.
I was gonna say, it reminds
We
me
go
of, like,
out, and the first thing we want to do is post a
Take
selfie
pictures,
because
yep.
look how cute I look tonight versus this and the night and everything. So everything that we do on social media is because we want a one up, and we don't put the messy stuff. We don't put pictures when we're
Oh, you
crying.
guys haven't seen mine.
No, but in general,
I put the messy stuff.
But
I don't
most people-
post good things.
Yeah, but most people don't. You know what I mean? It's that self of insecurity, and it's once again, it's like I want to show you what he did for me, like haha.
But
And then
it's nice
other
Yeah,
to
I
keep
want
some
to. Yeah, I
things
want to be better than
private.
you.
it is private, but
Yeah.
our lives nowadays based on social media and the internet in the last like 10 years, no, it's not private. Your life is not private anymore. Everything that you can make it private, and then you'll be that one person that might feel left out. You
Well,
know?
But you
I don't
actually
feel
don't
left
have
out.
to share the bragging moments without being on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
A lot of people use it as bragging moments, right? Like
That's
my
how I
sister
feel.
is a great example. She was here last weekend, and the people from the Midwest aren't super techie, so she's using Snapchat.
Oh.
And anyway, she was posting, and like we were wheeling, and I was like, "Why are you in Snapchat? Just use your camera and then upload it later." And she's like, "Oh no, they got to know what I'm doing right now."
Yeah.
And like that
Ooh,
mind frame is how
Yeah.
everybody is. Like
Whoever's
I'll make a
looking.
video in the morning and I'll forget to post it until 10
Yeah.
o'clock at night. Like it's just like
Yeah.
because I don't care that much.
Yeah.
No.
But like I also don't post to brag. I post some
Yeah.
of them are to complain about people.
Yeah.
But
A
it's just
lot
like
of them are.
my social
Most
media
of them.
turned into Felicia's random thoughts, and then I just talk and say random things. But like I don't post to say, "Oh, Justin did this for me.
Yeah.
Justin did that for me." You know, like I don't do that.
I
He
think
bought
it
me
takes
gym
away
clothes the other
from
day.
it.
I didn't post about it. I don't care.
Well, and here's the
Sweet.
thing: comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
when you have
that's-
somebody that, you know, your man went out there and bought you a rose and a chocolate bar because that's what he was able to do, and you're seeing other people posting up a hotel room filled with like this extravagant flowers and champagne and all that, you start to question maybe like, well, maybe my man doesn't love me as much as hers does
Yeah.
her. Whereas you have to appreciate the small things, or something like if your man's getting you a rose and that's all he can do, he did what he could do, but now look at so and so that just got a diamond ring, or this person's man bought her a BMW. So I think it's like it's a little braggy, but I think it takes away from some of those special moments when you're putting it out there to everybody else.
I've got to ask. Okay, what's the best gift anybody's ever gotten? Mine was my husband finding a burrito place, a breakfast burrito place in Denver.
Ooh.
I'm not even kidding. Best gift ever.
Yeah.
That's the best breakfast burrito I've ever had in my life. You guys ever want the place? Just let me know.
Oh,
That-
gosh.
I
So
was
what's
gonna
it- what's
say, I
your
don't think
best
it's
gift?
material possessions.
Like, ooh.
I don't care for material stuff like that. Like in a lot of senses, we don't give each other extravagant gifts. Like we'll do things because I'm a big foodie, so we're always trying to go to a new place, trying to try new things. And if it's something material, I'll just buy it for myself. Like if I want it, I'll go get it and tell them about this, and that's just it. You
So
know?
what's the best gift you've ever gotten? See, a gift, what people miss is gift doesn't mean it has to be a materialistic.
Yeah.
Like I said, mine was an experience. I got to eat
A
freaking
burrito.
burrito.
That is an
and
experience.
it was amazing. You know? So like what's like your favorite gift you've ever received?
It would have to be for me. It was a couple of years ago. He didn't tell me where we were going. Just told me get ready. We're gonna go somewhere, and we drove and drove and drove, and eventually we ended up at Disneyland, and that was so cool because we had. I'm not a big fan of like amusement parks per se, but my kids were a lot younger. They were, I want to say my oldest was probably like 8 years old. And we had just gone the week before, and it was just so exhausting. It was tiring. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't enjoy all the
'Cause you're
food
with the kids.
and anything. So I dedicated myself just to the kids and that, and I couldn't try any of like the yummy stuff. And I don't know. I guess I complained enough. To
Oh, I don't know where he got the idea
where he
from.
was like,
Was
I
it
guess
the
really
4 hours
like,
of
yeah,
complaining?
and I was like,
Our
"Oh,
little
that's
bitty
it."
hints that we are horrible at
Yes, I
giving.
was like, oh God, I wanted to do this and that and whatever, you know. So that was we. So the next,
So he took
week-
you
wanted
by
to shut
yourself without the kids.
Yeah. So then he
That's so
planned
sweet.
something, and he's like, and it's exactly his words were, I know we were just here. He's like, but you didn't really get to enjoy it, just the two of us. And I told him, I was like, no, I enjoyed it with my kids. But he was like, no, you didn't, because you were complaining that you didn't get to try the vignettes, and you didn't get to try this and that. And I was like, okay. And we weren't there all night. We were literally there for a few hours. But it was just nice to just hang out with
That
him.
intentional time. And
Yeah,
thought.
exactly. And that was probably one of the best things he's done, because it was just like, oh my God, you thought about me and how I felt when everybody was so crowded and stuff. You just wanted me and him, you know? So that was pretty cool. And I think that was one of the
That's
most
beautiful.
special ones.
Yeah,
Aw.
yeah. All right, next. What you got?
Oh gosh, so my ex-husband was not good at buying gifts at all. I remember one Christmas I had accidentally left a chapstick and a phone charger in like a bag of gifts for the kids, like that I was going to buy, and he wrapped that up and gave it to me. Like it was so bad. But the only time that he really
I don't mean to laugh at that.
Oh, it was so bad. I was like, wait, I was
Like,
like, oh my
oh my
gosh, I was
God.
excited because I was like, that's where the stuff went.
Yep.
Like I knew that I bought it because you're always afraid at Walmart,
Yeah.
you know, that you had left a bag that was on the other side of the octagon plastic bag carousel. And so I was excited. So I guess, but no. So I mean, this is how bad he was at giving gifts. But
Well, it doesn't even have to be him. Just like an experience that you had, even maybe like a previous boyfriend or like.
Well, I was
friend,
married for 20
your
years.
children.
Guys.
Okay. Children, yeah.
Oh, my children haven't. That's when you see stuff that we were talking about. See the example of a parent. So they also are really awful at giving gifts. Like I don't
They
receive
didn't learn
stuff.
We
that
need to give her gifts.
I know.
you guys.
Well, okay,
Months.
so the one time that my ex-husband did actually, he went down to the Louis Vuitton store, and apparently he was talking with my mom the whole time, and my mom was like this is what I wear every day. So I don't know why anybody would think that I would like anything from Louis Vuitton. But he did. He waited in line apparently for hours for these sunglasses. And they were literally, I opened it up and I started laughing. I thought it was a joke. Like I thought that why would Louis Vuitton
I'm feeling
make something
like there might be a reason
this?
he was a terrible gift giver.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I mean, you can't blame him. This was after the chapstick charger incident, like a couple years. But like literally, I was like, "Are you like? Is this serious?" Because they look like you remember that movie Mad Max.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like alien and
The cat.
and I have a picture of it. They were the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life because we were he was a little older than me, but like wow, the generations. I don't know if it was a generational gap or what, but it was.
He was just like, they're Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, but they're Louis Vuitton, so I made him take them back. I would never wear those. And then he called me from the store and said, "Would you like store credit or cash?" I said, "Cash, absolutely."
Yes.
There's literally nothing that I want from the Louis Vuitton
Yeah.
store. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we got, it was like $800.
He's like, shoot,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going with the chapstick from now on.
Yeah.
She's happy about
Poor
this.
guy. He's like, I don't know what to buy her.
Yeah. Oh no, but I'll show you guys a picture after it. They were
I want to
bad.
see.
They were awful, and I don't think they ever like came in. And I thought maybe like designer, they're like avant-garde. I don't even know how to say that. No,
No.
it never caught on.
No.
Like the flat rimmed glasses.
Yeah.
Now they're cute, but when they first came out, we were like, oh, those a little bit crazy, but
weird.
it caught on.
Mhm.
Whatever he bought me, those things did not catch on. Nobody's wearing them.
I'm literally so excited to see this picture.
Oh, it's so bad.
I kind of want to see what your ex-husband looks like now, just out of comparison style-wise.
Oh God, I feel so bad. I mean, because he did try. So that was
No, like his
probably-
style. I want to see his
Oh.
style.
Oh,
Yeah.
his style. I don't
Put
know.
the
It's right.
effort.
Yeah, I don't know. It like seemed normal to me. His
I
style.
think they
but-
probably were like, these are the new
Oh.
glasses.
You know what it was?
Like,
He went in there. He didn't know what to buy, and they
Yeah.
sold him on the one thing in the
Juice-
store that they couldn't
Yes.
sell
No,
because
in
they
the
were
store.
like, "Yeah, that's
No,
what
he
it
said.
was."
No, he went. I remember the thing that my mom, because my mom was like nudging me, like you got to be nice because he went. They were sold out of this particular item. And so then he had to go to the fashion show. And we don't, we're locals. We don't go down to the strip.
Uh-uh.
We don't do any of
Nope.
that stuff. So like for him to, and he waited in line to get these very
Aw.
specific glasses. So and
That's
again, that's the
sweet.
intention is
yeah.
that makes the gifts.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? And that is the thing. My mom knits and crochets.
Mhm.
So even everybody gets something knitted and something crocheted from her. So she just made me a granny square hat
Oh,
and
Wow.
granny square gloves. And like she knits everything. So I guess, and that's the whole thing. It's like when there's intention behind it, those are the best gifts. So it can be big, it could be small. Your husband wanted to satisfy your belly, which is
Mhm.
something very important too. I love food too. I love greasy.
She does not do salads at all.
Oh, never.
Never.
No, I'm a meat person. I don't
Yeah.
do salads.
Yeah.
I like hamburgers and pizza.
Give me a good steak.
Oh yeah, steak and burritos. I love all that. I don't like salads, but I would like to be healthier inside.
Meat's healthy.
Yeah, thank you. Meat's healthy. No, I know, but I feel like I'm 42, and maybe it's time for me to start eating my vegetables.
No, you don't need them.
Okay, good.
You don't
See?
need 'em.
An expert. in
I'm
health.
telling you, you do not need them.
That's
You
how
need
I
meat.
feel. I really just don't. My body doesn't want them, and I feel like it's a waste of space in my stomach. Like when people they pre-eat, they would eat a salad, right? You eat a salad first, and it's just so weird to me that you would waste that much space in your stomach on something that's disgusting before your food gets there. That's delicious, like a delicious.
There's not
steak.
even any nutrients in a salad, especially the side salads. There's nothing in it.
Oh yeah, no, not the side salads. You gotta have a hearty one, but at that point, you might as well eat
But even
like a
then-
piece of meat.
And then,
But,
every time I have just a little bit of veggies, it's so much fiber and it just upsets the crap out of my stomach.
Yeah, no pun intended. Probably because you're not getting enough. Maybe because
No.
no.
It's always done that because I did the whole bro diet thing when I first started working out
I
and
don't know
getting
what a bro
healthy,
diet is.
which is chicken, vegetable, and then potato or rice. It's literally very simple.
I
But
like that.
the vegetables have always just kind of it's just a lot of fiber. That's why people that are vegan have runny poops. I mean, I know not to get gross on this, but that is what it is. It's all the fiber from
Do
the
people
vegetables.
that go to
yeah.
Taco
Oh yeah,
Bell
they-
Well,
also
vegans
do.
don't announce
So,
that.
vegans poop like they have Crohn's disease.
Oh my gosh.
So
that I didn't know. Now I can't look at another vegan the same way.
Yeah.
Every time.
I don't
Girl,
anyways.
you ruined it for me. You ruined it for me. I'm just gonna be. Oh God.
Good thing I was thinking of becoming a vegan, but I don't feel like going to the bathroom constantly.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
Hard
Oh,
pass.
yeah. I don't think I could. It's the intentions behind people being vegans are valiant, and I get that. I 100% get that. But I don't.
That's
think
only select vegans too, though, that actually are doing it because
of animal welfare.
yes.
So
Yeah.
what are
The
other
other
ones?
half are
Well, who
doing
the
it
hell?
because it's a fad diet. It's healthy. It's liberal.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, no. Wait. Hold on.
I'm
I don't
sure.
think all vegans are liberals. Let's.
I'm not saying
go through
all
this.
of them. That was just a category.
A vegan liberal category because I was at a play date.
We just turned way
Oh yeah,
left.
here we go.
My bad.
Left.
My
We're
bad.
gonna turn left.
My
No,
bad.
no, that's okay. I was at a play date, and it was for homeschoolers, so you can imagine, right? One of them had dreadlocks. I mean, in real dreads,
Yeah.
not ones made out of wool. Like
Synthetic,
hers did.
yeah.
She had real nice dreads. And one of them did vegan meal prep. So vegan meal prep. One had dreads and was nursing her 3-year-old. One was a sound healer. One was reading tarot cards. Another one was African American. Oh gosh, I like the most liberal group of people you could possibly put in one spot, right?
Yeah.
So it was the day that RFK was doing a speech down in Arizona. And I said, Lauren, you like these people. You can have liberal friends. We can all get along. Just don't say anything because my other friend was like, excuse me, guys, I'm going to watch the speech. Because, it was real big that he was dropping out of the race. I don't know if you guys remember. And then, so she's watching it, and all of a sudden the one with the dreads says, hey, did you get that Hannity video I sent you? And they all start talking. And every single one of them was a Trump endorser. And that's the thing, you think oh my gosh, these are definitely, I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to keep my mouth shut and and I was shocked. I was shocked that every single one of them, I think it was a group of 8 people. And, we all look like we were straight out of Portland. I mean, I'm like a liberal magnet because I look like a liberal. So, I am. I feel like they just flock to me. And my friend recently found out that I wasn't a liberal, and she was shocked and devastated. We still talk, but it was hard for her. She was like, "Are you serious?" She thought I was just kidding because I don't talk about politics with my friends because again, they're all liberals.
You should have told her while you were wearing those sunglasses. That would have
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
I'm
I'm
not a liberal.
conservative.
Yeah, but that was just like when you bring up because I would associate a vegan with liberal for the
Which
in
I'm
general.
not saying all of them. Some do it because
Yeah.
of the animals.
Yeah.
They care. There's some people that do it literally because they think it's a healthy diet.
Oh,
Like,
how could anybody think that?
They do though. There are
That's
people that
wild.
strongly do. So I've known people that lose a lot of weight doing a vegan diet, and it's
Because
because
they're shitting.
Oh, yeah.
that
Runny. Sorry.
but like they're going to the bathroom more, or like they're not really eating much. Think about
Yeah.
how much like calories is in like a whole bowl of vegetables if
Yeah.
that's all you're eating.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
And-
why they're. I guess if you could maybe do like a month of veganism.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I
I mean,
feel
now
like
you're missing
fasting-
out on so much nutrients being vegan too, because
Yeah.
you need certain things from animal products.
Animal products
yes.
like iron. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're missing
Yeah,
so much of
from
that.
the
And if you
livers.
don't supplement it right,
Yeah.
your health is going to start to decline.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Your body is malnourished.
You just need a balance of food. People need to stop with the fad diets and just eat a balance.
Can we agree that we all just need to have a little bit more chocolate in our life?
Yeah.
Just
I
more
love
chocolate.
chocolate.
We love chocolate.
Bringing it back to Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
let's just put some more chocolate in our life and we're good.
We definitely need it once a month.
I love.
Oh yeah.
I'm a
love having
chocoholic.
chocolate at certain times.
Yeah, I just love chocolate. I'm like, I can't have chocolate.
I'm
every
not
day.
a big sweets fan. I like salt.
I like chocolate.
I like salt too.
I don't like
and then,
candy.
on my
Yeah.
period, it's usually like just a little
Just like
bit.
day before. That's
Yep.
how I know I don't have cramps. I definitely don't like keep track of any of it.
Yeah.
But when I am
You get the
craving
craving.
cereal, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's that time.
You just know you're about to if you have a hint of wanting sweet when you don't really want it most of the time.
Yes.
I want to bring it back around because I didn't get to tell about my favorite.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
yes. Sorry, we
I'm
went
just
on
over
and on.
here in
that's
the
right.
corner, guys. So for me, I'm a fan of homemade gifts. We've talked about it in the podcast before. I grew up very poor. My family, like before my grandparents and stuff, they were all very humble people, and we would always do homemade gifts. So like you were saying, like getting an Afghan or a quilt or something like that, I love. But probably my favorite gift that I've ever gotten was my granddaddy. I think it was 1920 something, maybe 30. He designed the wedding ring and band for my Nana. And so when they passed away, my mom gave that to me, and it's over 70 years old, and it's in this little like red velvet box, and I don't wear it because it's so delicate. It's so small. Like there's not like a diamond or anything. It is just like the oldest, most beautiful ring, and that to me is like the most sentimental present. I adore it. It's a part of them, and he designed that for her. But anything homemade, like you can write me a note, just your hand to paper, and that would mean so much more to me than you buying me a necklace.
Oh, we used to do
like,
that corny stuff like
I
we'd leave for work
love
and there'd be like a
it.
random note.
Yeah.
It would either be
Yes.
sweet or it'd be just kind of stupid.
just
but...
a post-it
Yeah.
note, like I love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like somebody, like when I was dating him, he like put a heart on my card, like stuff like that. I would
Aw.
so
Yes.
much rather get that than like you giving me flowers or giving me like I appreciate the thought and the effort behind presents, but I really love the intention. And my dad is an artist, and pretty much every year for Christmas or my birthday or whatever, he'll paint me a picture. He's painted me pictures of my kids,
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
and those, everything else, like, it's all materialistic stuff like that is near and dear to my heart.
It's like
That's
your
how it
love
gets me.
language.
Yes.
Like my love language is.
Let's
acts
go to
of-
that. What's your
it's
love language?
Acts of service, like I do. God, I love.
Is
it.
that what you like to receive or like to
Or
give?
give?
No, that's what I like
Is
to
that what you
receive.
like to get?
I like, no, I like
Let's
acts
hear
of. That's my
She's
love.
like,
Like
I
meaning
want to
that's what I
receive
want
it.
to get.
That's what you want to get.
I read
Yeah.
that book a couple years ago when
Mhm.
my husband and I were going through this really like rough kind of
Yeah.
patch in our lives, and understanding how we love to love each other was huge. And that's when my mentality for Valentine's Day switched. Because I was like, no, Valentine's, don't give me a card, what is that? But we also didn't know how to love each other the right way, because we always want to love someone else the way we think we want to,
Yeah.
right? But for me, it's acts of service. Like, I love when he just gets up in the morning and moves the car in front of the house, puts gas in, has my water bottle there, and that's like the coolest
Makes
thing.
brisket for your Valentine.
Right?
Ooh,
Can we please share that recipe?
I
That was
know.
amazing.
Yeah,
I
ooh,
need
the
to make
brisket.
it.
Things like that, like he'll get up and be like right now we were coming here and I was like, oh my god, I'm so hungry, I'm blah blah blah, and next thing I know, he's like, I made you breakfast. He made me pancakes and he had the maple syrup and everything already, and he's
so
like
cute.
ready to go. He's like, you need to eat something before you go,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god, it's, trying to eat it, but acts of service, just literally, like I'll be on the couch watching a movie or just hanging out, and it's cold. He'll go to, since the kids were little, he'll grab the blanket, put it in the dryer, bring it back up, and just like, here you go. And we're like, yay, warm
I love it
blankets.
so much.
And he does that for me and the girls and my son, whatever. So it's those little things. If I go out of town, every time I go out of town and come back, whether it's I've been gone for a day, a week, or whatever, the house is like spotless.
Oh.
Candles on, flowers is on, dinner is served. If I'm arriving at a decent time, and he's always like, I just want you to come back to your home
That is
and make sure that
adorable.
it's clean and like it feels homey, and it's like those little things. So he'll spend time like cleaning it because I obviously I want to come to a clean house, and it smells good. But it's like those little things,
Yeah.
just putting gas in the car or
Yes.
just slipping in, like a piece of chocolate in my purse because he knows that I'll get hungry at some point, and that's just it. But my son does that too.
Yeah.
My son has picked up on that, and randomly he'll be like, I'll get to work and I'll open my purse. I'm like, there's like a random piece of candy, like an old expired Halloween candy. It doesn't matter, but he put something in there,
So
and
cute.
he's like, and he'll tell me, oh, did you see your candy? He's like, just because I know you get hangry. I'm like,
Oh,
hangry, okay, hangry. So even my kids have like picked up on those like little things and stuff, but to me, like that definitely is, and his love language is completely different. Oh my god. I thought, forever I wanted to give because I like to give gifts. I love to give gifts. Like anytime that I see something that reminds me of someone, like I like to do it. And if it's your birthday, I like to celebrate you. So I generally do. But my husband's not. He likes for me to listen. Just listen. He wants to talk, and he wants to express. He wants to express
That's so
himself. And every day after work, I listen to him, and we don't judge, but I do, because sometimes I'm like, oh, babe, you've already told me this story like 10 times. But because
that's what he needs.
But that's what he
Yeah.
needs. He wants me to tell him everything's okay. He wants a hug. If we're having an argument, he wants to talk. I want to close the door, go in my room, and just deal with it in my own way. But for him, it's like, let's talk about it. I'm like, oh, God, what do you want to talk about now? Like, I already told you. You didn't listen. What do you want? But
He
I
needs
always
words of affirmation.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was trying to think of the word. Thank you. It's words of affirmation for
Yeah.
sure. He is that person. Like he wants me to tell him everything's okay. I love you. You're needed. Thank you. Blah 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 blah. And gifts don't matter for him.
Thank God that he's open enough to express that, though, because I feel like a lot of men need that and
Yeah.
don't communicate it. Because I think we are predisposed to believing that men are the strong ones and they're the leaders and stuff. And men also need their cups filled up with affirmations and appreciation.
Yeah, but I think that's a huge thing that helped us in our marriage. They married this long was really finding out and diving into what each other needs to fill our cup, because we all want our cup to be filled, but with different things, and it's not always the way that the other person reciprocates to it. And finding that out was like, whew, huge. If it wasn't because of that and the type of communication that we had to sit down and literally shed tears over and say, we're going to do this, I don't think we would have made it. We wouldn't have. And it's made us better.
Yeah.
It really has.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I obviously did not read the book. I have 2 copies at my house, though.
my
I
God.
just discovered 2 days ago. I have one
so
downstairs and
good.
one upstairs.
It's so good.
Someone left it for you.
No, I bought it for us to read. I bought one copy for each one of us, and we did not read it. And I think that even it was brought up after we had separated, and I was like, all you had to do was read the book.
Yeah.
And I read some of it because I'm definitely acts of service as well. And he actually gave that to me for the longest time. For most of our marriage, he was very good, just like Sergio, like very, very good at all that, and made me always feel so great. um, with stuff like that. But I guess I didn't really know how to give him love or how he wanted to, or my way of giving love was working really hard for our family. But that definitely he did not equate. Like it wasn't equated like a man when they work for the family. It's like celebrated and that's their contribution. When a woman works for the family, it, at least in
It can
our
be
situation,
selfish.
it didn't have the same merits.
Yeah.
There was no merit with me doing it um, for our family because he was a stay-at-home dad, and yeah, it was definitely not the same. So any type of gratitude that I have or anybody has, and it's so funny. People would be so, they would say so many times to him like how great of daddy was. They really like celebrate his parenting, and which they should. He did great, but we don't just celebrate people's parent or women's parenting because we just that's what they're supposed. It's expected.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And on top of everything else, it's always just expected. So
What is going on?
There's a party.
Can you shut that off?
Oh, they want to start jamming. Celebrate
They're like,
us.
Yeah.
there's a Galentine.
there's a Galentine's podcast in here.
They're definitely going to the smoke shop.
Yeah, what?
We're next to one. No, I agree with Lauren in that sense because for like with my husband, because he stayed at home for a long time too, and he is an amazing dad when it comes to all of those things. People celebrate him a lot more. It's like, oh my God, well, you're so lucky.
Oh,
he does
yeah.
this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And what about me? What about the times that I stayed up late at night and I did this and this thing? It's kind of like, well, you're supposed to. Well, yeah, exactly. He's a parent.
Yeah.
And he does it because he's supposed to and because he wants to, but he's supposed to. And we celebrate them like at such a higher, like,
Yeah,
oh
if
my
they
God.
do stuff that
Oh
women
God,
do.
yeah. Like your husband's so great. He helps you with the kids. Yeah, he's supposed to. He babysit. Yeah, he's supposed to. Like, what do you want
I
me to
hate
do?
that when they're like, he's babysitting. He's not babysitting.
Oh, I say that too, though. I say it
the
jokingly
dad.
about myself.
Yeah, like I'm babysitting.
Yeah, but I'm like, I have to babysit my kids
Yeah.
tonight.
That's one thing.
That's
but when you're
different,
talking
though.
about the dad and you're like, he's going to watch the kids, he's babysitting the kids. They're his kids.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I've never understood that
I
one.
haven't either. That's beyond me. But what you were saying, I think it is really important, and I think that's why the 5 love languages has been so successful, and it has helped a lot of relationships. Is you think that the love that you give, because that's the way you receive love, is
What
good
they
for
need.
the person,
No.
and it may be the complete opposite. And I've learned that more as I've gotten older. Is like, just because this is the way I receive love does not mean that's the way they receive love.
I think we can do it for friends too,
I was
right?
gonna say that. Yeah.
I was just because I picked up the book the other day when I found it because my son and his girlfriend were having some issues, and I started reading it, and well, one of the most positive things that have come out of my divorce, if it's anything, is I have rekindled my relationships with my friends. So when I met you guys at the Galentine's party, it was actually the first time I'd ever ever done a Galentine's anything, and I just don't do that type of stuff, and so like that would be nice because now I have so like friends that I really spend a lot of time with, and they're all so different. Like I thought about it, like all my friends are just such different people, and maybe I can't give love to them the way that I think. It's not just across the board.
Yeah.
Like I need to be different with some of my friends. So it would be advantageous for me to read that book,
Yes.
even
Yes.
being single.
But you can apply it to so many
Even
different
your children,
relationships. I was gonna
too.
say my children.
Oh, my children, yeah.
My kids, like it's like we have 3 kids. Oh, good Lord, their personalities are different.
They
Yeah, me
receive
too.
love differently.
They all
Yep.
do. One of them, I have to be firm and this, and the other one I have to be very gentle. And what do you want? And it's like, let's go get food, and you're excited. And the other one is completely different. So all of them are different. But because I have learned it in my life, I can now like teach it to them in different ways, and really have those conversations about what love really is, what friendships are, and how to take care of a friendship, even in a partnership. Like my husband is my friend.
Mhm.
You know, that it has to be my friend too. And how do we take care of that?
Mm-hmm.
How
All
do we take
relationships,
any
family,
relationship?
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does it talk about that in the book or no?
I think it's just more about love
It's more about
communication,
love.
and people take that to only be
Relational.
relation.
Yeah.
But there's so
No,
many
it's
different
so much more.
relation. Yeah.
Any type of relationship.
Mhm.
Like we have friendships that end because you've changed. No, I didn't change. You just learned that that's not what I liked, and I'm finally telling you after 20 years that I don't like to get gifts. I don't like to go here, and it ends.
Well, it's not even just that too. We do change.
Yeah,
we
through
do
ebbs and
grow. Like
flows,
I'm
yeah.
not the same person
Oh,
I
yeah.
was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was the same person I started out last year as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that changes every year, and then that changes the people that I want around
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
just,
true.
I mean, it's okay. That's
Yeah.
the thing people don't understand.
She
It's
said no
okay
hot
to just
dogs.
not be okay. Stop. That's a long story.
We throw
But-
out the hot dog water.
Yeah.
We only want people that are adding value to
Yeah.
our lives in
Yeah.
our lives at this
Yeah.
stage.
And so, like, going into this year, me and Heather really talked about the fact that we're only going to keep our circle of people to the people that we want there, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to waste time with people that we shouldn't waste time with, and that it's okay to do that. It's just people don't like to like let go.
No.
Yeah,
We're
I don't
hoarders.
like to let go.
Yeah.
I don't like to
It's
let
hard.
go. I'm trying to think when you're saying that, I was like, oh, how would I not get rid of a friend? But like, I don't know, maybe I find the good in a lot of people. So I would, even though they may not enhance specifically, because I read a lot of business books and,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that really talks about the group of people that you hang around,
Yep.
And, but all the people that I hang around, again, they are so different, here. They're just so different on so many different variables.
they bring different things.
Yeah, they
to
bring
your
different
life.
things that maybe,
But if they're making you happy, that's fine. The problem is keeping people that make you miserable.
oh, do people, so I guess I'm not around a lot of people who
Then
make me
that's good.
miserable.
That's
Yeah.
a good thing. They've made
Yeah.
your circle what you want it to be. Whereas, like, I consider myself not to have a lot of friends because I have cut out a lot of people that I just don't vibe with anymore, or I just never did. And maybe we vibed when I used to drink alcohol, and I don't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things that I have personally changed that I just don't fit in with certain people that used to be in my life.
So did you just not call them? Or?
Yeah. It's not that hard because most
Oh,
of
I
them
was
just contact me.
How do you break up with a friend asking for a
So,
friend?
yeah, I've never actually, like, I wouldn't even say you really break up with them. You just
Yeah.
slowly distance yourself, and then eventually you just don't talk to them much.
Yeah,
and
there's
it doesn't mean I hate them, and it
And
doesn't mean
some
I won't
people
talk to them.
aren't putting in effort, and you realize, like, man, I'm the one putting in all the
Yes,
effort.
Yeah.
that one's
like,
a big one for
And then
me.
you
Oh, yeah.
stop, and
That one
it
I
just
see.
stops.
Like, I've put in a lot of effort with a lot of people and never got it back, and
Yeah.
that goes back into that love language, even, or just like relationships. Like, if the person isn't giving, but you're giving everything and kind of get crapped on, it's time to just end it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. I'm done getting crapped on for no reason.
The last 2 years for me have been about filling my cup of water with positivity and people that actually nourish me. And like you said, sometimes you got to get rid of those people, not because you don't want them anymore, but they're just not
You
bringing
can still
anything
love
for you.
them.
Yeah, you can still love them from afar and be okay without them, because people have to be present for you, little and the big things. And just because I've known you for 20 years or 5 years or a month, and we call each other friends, but if you've never really been present in
Yeah.
the moment, do I really need you around for what? It's just like holding on to a void, just holding on to something that's just not really.
But it doesn't
real.
mean that you don't like them or you won't
Yeah,
talk
you
to
just-
them. It just means that you've distanced yourself. You prioritize other things and other people.
Yeah.
And another example is like a work environment. So a lot of people stay in a workplace, which I feel like none of us have normal jobs. But anyway, but like a lot of people work a day-to-day job that they will never leave. They'll be there for 20 years. They hate it. They hate the people they're around every single day. But they never.
Merida loves her job.
I do. I love it.
Okay.
But
just-
they don't own the business. They're not married to the business, but they refuse to go out and try something new because it's
Change.
scary and it's
Scary.
change and
It's the unknown.
yeah. And I feel like that's another area that people have these relationships with a workplace or work people that they don't have to have.
Yeah, and you spend most of your time
At
with
work.
like the studies, or
Yeah.
I guess it's not much of a study, but you spend way more time with the people that you
Yeah.
work with than your family. And so like and you don't have a choice. It's kind of like your family. You don't get to choose. Well, you kind of do. I mean, because you're hiring the people. But
You gotta choose, kind
yeah,
of.
you kind of get to choose when I
We're
get
not
to
trees.
choose.
We can move. That's how you're not a tree. You can move, but people get comfortable.
Yeah.
They just get so comfortable in a relationship, and a friendship, and a work environment. It's all types of different relationships that we have, and we just get comfortable. We just like, I don't want to look for another one. What do I do if I leave? There's so many people that are married and like miserable, but they don't want to leave because
What's
what am I gonna
familiar
do?
is comfortable.
Yeah, I think we've talked about
Comfort
that.
is the devil to me.
Yeah. Yeah, like nope, just do it. Have a little leap of faith, but it's so much easier said than done. Especially for women, we say like, oh, who's gonna help us? We got to think of childcare. We got to think of work. We got to think of all of those things, and society has made it to where the man can easily just
They just
do-
can
do
check
whatever.
out.
Yep, and then it all kind of falls back on the women, on the
But
on the
it's not
mothers.
impossible. And
It's
that's what
not.
people need to realize.
Oh,
is
yeah.
that you just gotta go
That's-
for it, hope for
yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
That's how we
1,000%.
get through.
Yep.
I mean, you've
1,000.
built a whole business on just pushing forward, right? Like I'm sure there's plenty of hurdles that you've had to overcome.
Yeah, it was really hard actually. It was I don't think people like it's hard to explain because it's simple, not easy. So business and building your business and growing your business, there's a formula for it. And every single business book out there is basically saying the same exact thing. So you just really have to listen to that, but it was hard. Like I made sacrifices that I don't think a lot of people are willing to make. So they see what I have now and they don't look back at the last 15
And
years.
I hate the people that look like, I shouldn't say hate, but I really dislike that mind frame.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people can't see the work someone's put into it. They just
Well,
look
they
at it
can't.
and they're like, oh, they have everything.
They have everything. And I recently read Shoe Dog. It is Phil Knight who founded Nike.
Oh, I've read that. That's a good book.
Yeah, and when I was reading it, I said, like, holy crap. Like, this guy deserves every cent of however many billions of dollars this guy is worth.
If you guys haven't read it, it's a great book.
It is one of the best books I've ever read. And he, like, I felt like I sacrificed a lot. That guy is, like, on a whole new level. Like, what he did to build Nike, to start Nike, and to grow Nike, and to build it is, like, out of this world. It's literally out of this world. I mean, I don't know how he had the balls to do that. Like, it's wild. As
Takes
I'm
so
wearing
much risk.
my Adidas shoes. It's
okay, we got
blurry.
Nike.
Okay, then I was like, oh my god, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. But yeah, and that's the thing. It's like these people, they come in and they like vilify business owners or people who have nice cars or people with money, and if you really knew what anybody and every single person here can have it. I think that has been my superpower. Is if they can do it, I can do it. And actually, Phil Knight is a billionaire. I believe that I could be a billionaire too. And I believe that with every single ounce of my being. If I want to be a billionaire, I could 100% be a billionaire. And I say that with so much conviction. And I never thought I couldn't do something. If somebody else did it, I sure as hell can do it. And it never came into play that I was a woman. In fact, I didn't even think about me being a woman in the business until I was at UNLV on a business board. I don't know. I was at the business bill. I don't even remember because I can't remember anything. But I was at the business board, and one of the students asked, like, how was it that you were a woman in business? And it was the question was so negative that I was a woman in business, and that was the first time I was like, oh yeah, I guess I had a disadvantage. Oh, interesting. But I never felt like I had a disadvantage, and I think that because I never felt like a victim, I never became a victim.
You didn't have that mentality.
Oh my gosh, never. So I don't even know where this tangent came from.
I don't know,
my
but I
bad.
do know
I
that
asked
we
a question.
probably need
I don't even know what the
We've
original.
got to wrap this up because
Perfect.
we've gone over our time. But
And this girl's got to get to football.
I do. I have
Go
sports.
Oh, that's right. Go sports.
But I have thoroughly enjoyed having you ladies on. I love you. I love you. I just, I'm like this.
We're
where
gonna
has
have
she
to do.
been?
We're gonna have to do a country music night.
Oh,
I know I don't
yes.
drink, but I definitely can party. Just give me some lemonade.
Oh,
Oh,
good
yeah.
lemonade.
And also, I feel like we should do another one where we talk about like the vegan and like I would
Actually,
love
talk
to get
about
into
this.
all
running
of
I
this.
would.
vegans.
I would
Yes.
love to dive more into you building your business.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
That
yes.
that would actually be really cool.
That's a fun. I could talk
Yeah.
about that for hours.
I would love that. But I
times.
think at the end of the day, I don't want to be like a flip flopper. I think the idea behind Valentine's Day is really special to show somebody that you care about them and love them. Like, I will say, I'm sorry, guys, throwing myself under the bus. My 9-year-old is taking me out on Valentine's Day.
But that's
He worked,
cute.
he did chores with his dad, and
Oh.
he saved money to take me out for Valentine's Day. And I think
that's
it's
so sweet.
beautiful because I'm like, I want him to do those things for his woman when he's
Yep.
older. I
He's
would
the
have
cutest. too, by the way.
rather
We put him in a cow like blow up thing. Oh
I
my
would-
god, so cute.
I would have rather not done it on Valentine's Day because I hate the crowds and like so many people and everything. But I think the sentiment behind it is beautiful,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
beautiful.
letting the people that you love know that you love them. I do think it should be something that's done all year long.
See, I can't say I've always been like kind of like a hater. I'm not even a hater really. I just don't celebrate it.
Mhm.
But I used to like when I worked at a bar, single or not, it didn't even matter. I would buy candy to give out to people
Yeah.
just to make people feel happy on
Mhm.
Valentine's Day, just to make them feel good. Just because a lot of people are at the bar because they're miserable.
Yeah.
Not us.
Yeah.
Well, I was in the Midwest. I was
Yeah.
telling you
Oh,
all,
yeah.
also. But
Do you guys have any closing thoughts on
I
Valentine's?
think love should be, friendships and everything should be celebrated throughout the year.
All year.
And when you see something that reminds you of that person, give them a call them, get by it for them, take them out, do the little things, and really, really try to figure out how each
to
person,
love them.
Communicate.
how to communicate with love and on purpose. But I still think that that one day is necessary for a lot of people because they've never been taught that from a young age or
Yeah.
even as adults, and they're not willing to. So if we celebrate it once a year, let it be, you know?
it is a hard thing. Like if you
Yeah.
grow up and you're not taught that, because I wasn't taught that. The only reason I really care about my relationship is because everyone in both of our families have been divorced.
Mhm.
It's a priority because we don't want to be those people.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But if you have one day to celebrate each other, then do it. You know what I mean? But learn to also do it throughout the year. So that one day it's, yes, I want to be like the rest of the world, but I celebrate you every other day with the little things and the big things and everything in between.
Love it. She nailed
Well,
it, right?
for me, actually, because I was really negative, but listening to some of the stuff that you guys were saying, especially Merida, it made me kind of sentimental. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, maybe I do want somebody. I never liked flowers,
Mhm.
but when you said it, I was like, oh, maybe I would like it if somebody got me flowers.
Well, it's different too. It doesn't mean that you necessarily somebody could buy a gift exactly how you described it with the flowers, and it'd be something totally different that relates more to you. Mine,
Yeah.
gym clothes. Justin
Yeah.
buying me gym clothes the other day was amazing.
Oh,
I was
you
like,
love
yes,
the gym.
yeah. You know, that was specially
Or
picked out.
something. Yeah, just something. I never was really big on gifts from childhood, but I do like that. Yeah, that sentiment.
Yeah, I think when I don't know, when I pick things out for people, it's because I thought about you, because they reminded me of you. And when people say like a card, like we're big card givers. My husband gives me a card for every single thing. There's nothing else. We can be broke as a joke, but he will always get me a card and the kids. And to me, it's like you went out and you saw 100 cards and you stood there and you read them and you thought about it and you picked that one, because I know he didn't just go grab it.
Yeah.
I know that and he did it. Or sometimes he will just write a card out for me or a paper.
Is all of his cards sweet?
No, some of them are so funny. They're silly.
Okay. I was like,
No.
I love the funny ones.
No, he gives me the funniest cards, and sometimes he'll buy me like 2 or 3 because he's like, I just couldn't decide.
Oh,
like they're
cute.
just funny, and he'll do silly ones. My girls will do silly cards too for me, or my kids. Like it's just a card thing. If anything, we give each other a card for any kind of occasion and stuff.
Oh, that's nice. I never buy cards. I say we're gonna write it out on the Sharpie on the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like $4.50, and then you
I-
gotta.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they're crazy.
Yeah,
That's
you're
so
right.
funny.
They're kind of
like
expensive.
my idea of the card and your idea of the cards are just.
So different.
They're
And I
so
have
different.
a Tupperware container in my garage of every card I've ever
Oh
gotten.
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
keep them all
Oh,
because
have
I
'em all?
have, my sister has a tattoo and it's all four of my grandparents' handwriting where they told her they
Oh,
loved her
that's
and like their
nice.
signatures. And she only has that from us keeping like their cards and stuff. So
You're a
she
card
has that.
hoarder.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love
do
them.
too. I have a shoe box, not a shoe, well, like a box, and it has all the cards that my husband has given me and my kids in the last couple years.
Yeah.
And
You guys are making me feel like a jerk.
And
I
don't
know. We can be jerks together.
I really
Yeah.
miss my
I love
grandma,
cards.
and I have like cards from her where she wrote
Yeah, that's
special
beautiful.
messages, and it's like I'm so glad I have these.
I think I have a check from my grandma
Yeah.
that I never cashed.
And it's
And
just
I'll
like
never-
it's a part of them that you
Yeah.
get
It's
to
a part
hold
of
on
them,
to.
yeah.
So
The $20.
we
I don't
won't
come from
always be
sentimental.
around. Yeah, no, I was telling my husband, I was like, God, one day we're not going to be around, and I'm going to look at these things and, just have a little piece of reminder
piece
of
of
what
them.
we were, because the cards don't just say, oh, I love you, da-da-da. No, we always talk a little bit about what's been going on through that
Oh,
year,
that's
too.
nice.
So it's not just
Yeah.
I love you, happy birthday. No, it's like talks
a
a little bit.
reminder.
My dad
Yes.
signs his name.
Yeah.
No.
See?
Oh no,
And
my dad writes out huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
Oh,
But
I
it's the
love
worst
that.
handwriting ever, so we're just all struggling
Eh.
because his handwriting is worse than mine, which is hard.
I
But
can't even say I've
handwriting
really
is
had
something
one.
that's really special, and we
Yeah.
have moved so far away from it now, where
Yes.
we're all digital. That like having something written out means so much to
Yes.
me.
Well, now you
because
got
it's like,
lovable
oh.
text messages.
No,
Oh,
No,
gosh.
it's not the
No, it's not
same.
the
They're
same.
getting text messages tattooed.
Yeah,
I've seen
exactly.
a couple of
like,
them. Yeah, they get the text messages tattooed from like their last loved one.
Listen,
Or their
or
loved
like
one's last
the
one.
voice note of
Oh,
like how
yeah.
the
I have a
voice
feeling.
was
I
and
like
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I like
Yes.
that.
Okay, we digress.
Yes,
We digress.
yes.
We can keep going
Well,
on.
you
Love
just
is
found out that I'm
beautiful.
not sentimental.
But do you
I feel
kind
like
of
a
feel like
jerk.
you want to be a
No.
little bit after this? Oh, see, no, I was a jerk for a very long time, and after
her, like,
listening
10
to
more
that,
years.
I'm like, oh,
No,
Yeah.
I think gestures are sweet, and I like I said, he gave me flowers one time, and it's very sweet. But I just let him know, and I don't really like flowers. Don't waste your money. You
Yeah.
know, like it. That's just he knows what to buy me. Gym clothes,
gym clothes,
food, burritos.
Food. Burrito.
You know, like it's
She's a
just,
simple lady.
Yeah, I'm just simple, and it's just done a different way.
Yeah, it's just
It's not even that
It's
I'm
the
not
same thing, though.
and I just don't save cards, but I've also never had a card that said anything in it other than
Dad.
"Love, Dad."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
what?
yeah, that's-
I'm gonna
you
get
know.
her a card and I'm
Yeah,
gonna write a nice
okay,
message.
perfect.
Yeah,
and
like
you'll
there's
wanna
never
keep
been
it.
anyone just to keep. There's a few I
Well.
laughed at. They're
Yeah.
funny. But like, it's just never been like, oh, I need to keep that. Plus I'm not a hoarder. Like I can't hoard anything. I throw things away like
Ugh.
crazy. So yeah. Just
come
sorry.
over to my house and
Yeah.
help me purge.
Oh, I can help you.
Oh,
you
God.
you probably won't be able to find anything afterwards. But
Yeah, exactly. It's all in its place.
Well,
All
this
right,
was
guys,
lovely.
we are gonna wrap this up.
Sorry. She's been trying to wrap it up.
I have been, guys. I know nobody's even watching at this point. They're like, we're turning this off.
Oh yeah, you guys are done?
Yeah.
So if you haven't already gone and followed Lala Photography, go check them out. If you're in Las Vegas, Salt. Where-
We
where
have
else?
Sacramento, Las Vegas, Dallas, Fort Worth, St. Louis, Charlotte. I'm going Nashville, Portland.
Go check it
I
out.
love how you went from Nashville
Yeah,
to
Because
Portland. Nashville
it's
to
how they
Portland is
open. It's how they open. Oh yeah, I'm not good at geography. I discovered that. Or
I'm not good at
American
math, so.
Yeah, okay, we just also discovered that.
Specifically for our local Las Vegas ladies, I'm sure you've already heard about them, but they are the studio in Las Vegas to get your maternity, newborn family pictures. They do the cutest mini sessions, so make sure you go and check them out. You might get to see Merida if you're there.
We
And-
might get some bestie ones done. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
We should. The 80s style, or
Speaking of
90s.
dorky,
The awkward,
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
yes.
the awkward. Yeah.
You might just see that for our messy on purpose. But
That would be cute.
thank you guys for watching. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. We hope you have the greatest time celebrating.
And thank you
whether-
both.
Celebrate
Yeah.
each
Guys,
other.
thank you.
Celebrate
Yes.
yourself.
Yes, thank
Happy
you.
Happy
Valentine's.
Valentine's.
Bye.
Bye.